Mexican man won't let his daughter date a black man, but she could date a white man.
Because of the skin color. It's almost sad because they say para mejorar la raza. That's what they be saying.
To better the race.
Hi lovelies, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Belinda Strana. Thank you so much for all the love and support. To my returning subscribers, to those people that share my videos, leave commentaries, and also educate each and every one of us. You guys are the real MVP. So lovelies, I came across this video on my For You, and I thought to share where there is actually a discussion ongoing concerning the Latino black community and that of pan-colored people. And these people are oftentimes showing their colorism. And on this particular video, I was able to put up some stitches from, these podcasters explaining and giving the reason why they are actually taught in their community to focus more on, becoming a pan-colored. I'm just going to roll it. Please leave me your own thought in the comment section of what you think of this video. And please do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying and harassment. We are just here for educational and informative purposes. Alright, lovelies, let's dive into it.
An older Mexican man won't let his daughter date a black man, but she could date a white man.
Because of the skin color. It's almost sad because they say para mejorar la raza. That's what they be saying.
To better the race.
Yeah.
Fucked
up, bro. They're fucked up,
So when my grandma moved to the city, and my grandpa moved to the city and they met, my grandma automatically just seemed better because she was with this guy from Michoacan that was light skinned and white with green eyes, and she looked like Felipe, dark, short, and that she thought she was better, fool. Fool, I swear to God, for my grandma just passed, but she loved my nephew more than she loved my.
Right there, publicly admitting that your grandmother thought she was better than everybody else because she found her a Mexican man who was light skinned with green eyes, and then publicly admitting that your grandma liked your niece more than your nephew because one was light and one was black. But see, we all know this. So when you're out here saying, oh, the black people, no, we know, like, come on, man. What kind of level of disrespect is this? Unless you think we're dogs that go come jumping one nigga, hey, nigga, Viva la Mexico. Is that how you view us? Is that how you see us? Like, anyways, why don't you go beg the white men that you want to mejorar la raza, your family, to come protest with you? Why is it the dark ones that will opposite of mejorar la raza, your family? Why? You don't want our dark stain on, like, the protest. That's how people meet. That's how people fall in love. A lot of people have met you don't want that shit. No, Holmes. No, Holmes.
Mihara La Raza has so many complexities to it. The Spaniards believed in G-side through assimilation. How did they do this? Through intermixing. They absorbed a group of people's identity. They absorbed a group of people culture through intermixing until it's no longer recognizable. And that's what Latin America practiced to today. They feel like the Latino is the new superior race, and they prefer the European DNA, whereas they feel like the black and indigenous identity is something that they have to overcome. So they're to a point where they don't need to intermingle with them anymore. They just exclude them. And that's why you see black Latinos fighting for their life to be Latino, because the ideal, the concept of a Latino is to be black free, to be indigenous free, to look European as possible. You don't fit into the game plan. So it makes sense for their parents to be mad for bringing home a black person, because it doesn't fit the La Raza. It doesn't fit the Mihara La Raza.
Latina. I was born in a minority city. My father is from Dominican Republic. He's a USA citizen now, and my mother is from Puerto Rico, but she lives in the States now. I have some things I want to say about the Latino community. The one topic that I want to talk about is Black versus Hispanics. I'm going to start off as all of us are one, and things that I've seen from the Black community, and I just hope that you have an open heart to what I'm about to say. I'm going to start off with the generational things that we may have been taught, right? So it went generation from generation to generation. Unless your parent broke it, there has been colorism in our own country. A lot of us are racist due to our parents and how they were raised and the way that they view the world, or the things that they heard or seen about a different race, which taught us racism as well. As Hispanics, we are racist towards each other and other race. Now, I want to talk about how what's going on with our community right now is the same thing that has been going on with Black Americans for years. As we all know, ICE has been taking kids away from their parents. And it's the same thing that has been happening to Black Americans. The parents are being pulled away from their children due to imprisonment. And if you haven't realized, minorities get a harsher sentence. Some people being wrongfully imprisonated. I want you to think about that person who was incarcerated and look at their history, how they were raised, and the community that they were raised in. Did they have any resources? Did they have any help? Was the community helping that child to prevent them from getting incarcerated when they became an adult? I want to share a little experience that I had with my Black friends when I went on spring break in college, and I will never forget this. I was the only Hispanic person. There was a cop behind us, and they were terrified, and I'm just like, why are y'all terrified? There's nothing that's going to happen. I truly understood at that moment. Black people have always been targeted. Black children who have been killed at the hands of a cop. Somebody who's supposed to be protecting them. They're no longer here because of a cop. A lot of people will talk about how Black people kill each other, right? But I also want you to think about the colorism in our own country. Now I want you to think about why our families decided to migrate to America. We wanted you to get out of that lifestyle, how unsafe your country is, or how there's so much going on in that country that they want a better life for you. I want you to think about how you could have been dealing with the same thing that Black Americans are battling right now in America, in your own country. Now you see that Black people have been targeted their entire life. As far as ICE raids are going on right now, it is so unfortunate what's going on right now, and I stand with every family that is going through this right now. However, I want you to view Black people the same way that you're viewing ICE right now. I want you to join their fight as well, because you want them to join your fight, but what are you really doing for their fight? Are you even speaking up about the things that are going on in the Black community? Are you even aware of the things that are going on in the Black community? Before you fix your mouth to say that Black people should be joining our fight and being upset about it, I want you to look at it as you think you're entitled to their resources when you're not. Some of you guys don't even know what's going on in their communities. Things that are happening right now are unnecessary. They're illegal. A lot of the things that are going to kids' school, like all of this is frustrating to me. However, we cannot prevent it right now. So what are the steps that we're going to do for these parents who might be deported? I want you to understand that protesting is a beautiful way to voice yourself. However, they're going to look at you like you're attacking them. They're going to poke you guys. They're going to send the National Guard, they're going to send the Marines, they're going to do all of these things. They want it to not be peaceful because they want to blame us for all of the stuff that's going on right now. Why there's martial law, they're going to blame us. We're already trying to pull all of our resources, Medicaid, SNAP, all of the things that help us minorities who cannot provide for ourselves at this current moment. Why, you may ask? Because now all of this stuff is going to increase crime. They have a lot of jails. They keep building jails, prisons, all of that stuff. Why? It's all a part of a plan. Now, when it comes to deportation, it's going to happen no matter what. As much as we don't want it to happen, it's going to happen. But what about the children who are here that are Americans? There are a lot of ways that you can provide resources to the community, which is going to places that provide support and helping them by giving them a helping hand. The thing that we could do right now is get our license to notarize papers. You want to know why? Because if that person should be deported, they need to have a plan in place no matter what. If you have an American child, you need to have legal documentation with a trusted person that you know would take care of your child, signed by somebody who can do it for you, because you don't want your kid going to DYFS. Your kid could possibly go into foster care. And let me just tell you, I've seen it firsthand. There are some foster parents who do it for the money. There are some ones who are absolutely loving and your kids are in great hands with. But there are some, I just need you to go look at the stats of kids in foster care when it comes to abuse. Now that I got that all out of the way, I need you to understand that we cannot ask somebody to join our fight when we don't even acknowledge their fight. And I need you to understand the hurt and the pain that they've been through or endured by the hands of us as Latinos, because they were targeted by us as well. And I know I was all over the place, but I just wanted to bring some type of awareness when it comes to the Black and Hispanic community due to the fact that I see certain things and I just don't understand how we don't understand why they don't want to join our fight. I just don't get it.
Breaking news you can use, folks. You're going to want to hear this. There are reports that the Hispanic community is incessantly reminding Black Americans that Afro-Latinas exist, which is ironic because Mexico only acknowledged their existence in 2015. Prior to that, the label Afro-Latina was not an available option on the census, meaning that these Afro-Mexicans were not protected under any type of laws, all while suffering large disparities in Mexico. They have the highest poverty rate, and Afro-Mexican women report at about 23 to 30% racial discrimination from non-Black Mexicans. Their existence was only acknowledged after years of Afro-Mexican activists pushing for this inclusion and demanding protections under the law against racial discrimination from non-Black Mexicans. Statistics show that Afro-Latinas are treated horribly in Mexico. This is corroborated by multiple videos from Afro-Mexicans sharing their stories of experiences of being an Afro-Mexican in Mexico, stating that they received anti-Black hate from non-Black Mexicans, even in their families. There is a clear caste system very much present in Mexico. So to that I'd say Black Americans are aware of Afro-Latinos, but Latinos apparently aren't until it's convenient. Just another Black body to use. Black Latinos, in fact, have reported feeling more accepted by Black people with no Hispanic or Latino descent than from the Latino community. Folks, it appears that the Hispanic community is scrambling to put blame on Black Americans while failing to acknowledge their own racism both in the United States and in their home countries. This has been Crystal Black with news you can use. Toodaloo. White people, other non-Black people, and some Black people either believe, try to believe, or disillusion themselves into believing that racism towards Black people is somehow interchangeable with other forms of discrimination. That thought process is displayed on how they have the discussion on intersectionality, and therein lies my problem with intersectionality. And that is why I tell Black people that we need to focus on being Black first before anything else. Because being Black is the biggest danger over every other type of discrimination. For instance, you being told you're Black and that is why you did not get the job is worse than being told you're LGBTQIA+, and that is why you did not get the job. Being told you're not getting the job because you're Black is worse than being told you're not getting it because you are disabled, etc. Because what that says to say that you're Black and that's why you're barred from the job means that you could be a part of any other type of group and still get that job. But Black was the first identifier in disqualifying you from it. Because you can be LGBTQ and not Black. You can be disabled and not Black. You can be anything and not Black. And as long as those things are not disqualifiers to the people in the position of having power over you, you're safe. You could be Black and nothing else that is discriminated against. That is a heterosexual, able-bodied, rich Black man. He could fit all the requirements of the status quo, but because he's Black, he's disqualified. This is important to note. Why? Because when we talk about hierarchy of society, we say that who is the most harmed? Black trans women. Above that is Black women. Above that is Black men, and so on and so forth. No mention of sexuality is anywhere else in that hierarchy when we have these discussions. And if it is, it skips Black women and Black men. Why? Because the most vulnerable in our community is not the most vulnerable because they're trans. It's because they're Black. If they were just trans, they wouldn't be at the bottom of the social hierarchy. meaning we could fight as black people for everyone's rights. In fact, we have. The Civil Rights Act of 1964, prime example. And everyone else benefited greatly from that. Black people benefited the least. Black people do not have time for intersectionality. That is a privileged person's game. When black people are being shot down by police, they are not being asked their gender or sexuality or disability status or class status first. It's because they're black. Now, I'm not saying that those other things are not attached onto blackness that can cause further harm. What I'm saying is that the harm was already unavoidable by them simply being black. I hope that explains it.
Seriously, lovelies. Oftentimes, we have been seeing so many videos that surface on the social platforms where Asian people, where Hispanic people, rather, are actually calling upon people that looks like me to come out and help them, to come rescue them. They even go as far as to share the reason why they feel that black community have, really need to come, save them with this eye street. So many of them shares the reason why they felt so by talking about how they were all out during the Black Life Matters. And this actually spiked a lot of conversation, not only in the Asian or in the Hispanic,
If you call yourself
Latino
Black,
community,
African
but also
American, Indigenous, Aboriginal,
the Black community and the open
my
color
community,
as whole.
those who look like
And
me,
the thing is
honey,
that
let me tell you, we
these
need to be paying very
people
close attention to
actually
these LA
discriminate
protests and these
against
ICE
each
raids. I'm
other,
going to say
like
it every day until
against
we
their
get it
own
understood.
community. They
If you are
discriminate.
looking and paying
You
attention to
know,
what is
they are known
happening
for
in the
for
media,
something like
on
that.
social media, on
Just
these
like the way at which these
platforms,
podcasters said
if
in the said
you
video, they
think
were like,
when our day
it is
comes,
actually
first
more
of all, I pray we never
preferable
get back out there in numbers like
if
that.
a
Because we
Latino person
understand that,
is
that's
actually
not the tactic, that's not
in
the
a
way.
relationship, or
And I hope
they
that we are done
encourage
screaming for change.
um
And we need to understand that
Latinos,
when our day comes,
Hispanic
baby,
people to
we will
be
not be
more in a
protesting for
relationship with
change.
pan color people,
Okay?
because
Our
I
day ain't
think
gonna
they
look
are
like
doing
that.
that to
And they're not
clean
gonna treat
up
us like that.
that
They're shooting
Afro
them people
side.
with rubber
You know,
bullets. You think it's gonna be rubber in them
this
joints when it comes to
podcast
us?
is actually not the first podcast I have heard
Okay?
something like this.
So we
It
need to
is
be
not
strategizing. We
surprising,
need to
it's
be
not
coming up with
shocking,
our
but
own
this is
plans as a
something that I've
community.
heard
How are we going to protect
countless
our
times.
communities?
But
Because they know that
what
we're not going to
actually,
come out in those streets. So what are they going to do? They're
puts
going to
me
come
in the
into our
position of
communities.
trying
We
to
need to be planning. We
think
need to be
things through
strategizing.
is the
We need to
fact that
be protecting,
in their own
preparing.
community, they have
Okay?
Afro Latinos that they don't even treat well. They don't want to treat them well. You know, what actually makes people think that these guys are not gonna be RNCs, or they're gonna treat people that looks like me better if they actually go as far as not treating their own people well? Like, there is this particular stitch that I saw in one of my mutuals. His name is Ricardo. He's actually a Hispanic man. He calls out racists in the community, and this man invited a guest who happens to be an Afro Latino, and this lady who happens to be a black lady, but she's an Afro Latino, shares a very terrific story of her family. She goes as far as to talk about how in her family she happens to be the darker one, while her siblings are actually the fairer version of her parents. And what she noticed growing up that even made her to leave the family is the fact that they treat um, her siblings more better, that they see her siblings that someone that will get married to, or like they treat her siblings better compared to her. And in her own case, they often pray, go for all of these sacrifice in order for her to get someone to marry her. Like, they believe that if you are a darker skinned person, your chances of getting married is very slim. Like, this lady was sharing her story, and she was like, this is the reason why she have to leave her family, she has to leave everything behind and go, meet her life and go like. And I was like, if a family member can actually treat their own daughter this way, what happens to the real black person, like someone that looks like me, you are not even going to be treated better because in their own family, they are being discriminated. They are being racist. They have this colorism thing that exists in their own family. Then talk more of a black person. This same thing is also happening in Indian community. They have this colorism thing as well, you know. And when people keep on pushing black people, come out, go protest, help us do this. Like now, all of a sudden, everybody wants togetherness. But when people that looks like me have been calling for this togetherness, a lot of Mexican people are all over on the social platform talking about how people that looks like me are so lazy, are so these are black fatigue and all of that. Like, where is the black fatigue right now? I think every community have to really focus on their own community. If they have anti-blackness, if they have colorism, whatsoever, look for a way to deal with it without coming out to ask other community for help. It start within. Even if they want to like pretend, oh, our community is better, like no community is actually perfect. These people that they're calling black people, they're calling come and do this, they also have their own issue at hand. They have their own thing at hand. Anyway, lovelies, wanna just leave me your own thought in the comment section of what you think of this video. And please, lovelies, if you've not subscribed to this channel up to this extent, do your girl a huge favor to click on the subscription button. Like, and I will see you, lovelies, when I upload the next one.